Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be going over Apollo, how it works, different features you can use, how I use it to scrape thousands of qualified leads, and how you could do the same. So let's get into it. So here you can see we're on the home page. So this is going to be the page you're going to see once you do make an account. Now on the top left over here, so there's a bunch of different things that Apollo offers. You're mostly going to be in the people section right here. This is where you're going to use to actually target and actually find your leads. So essentially, I want you guys to think about it like Apollo is just a giant database of over 35 million businesses that are actually on Apollo. So essentially, here what we're doing is we are targeting the businesses that we are actually after, right? And it's very important that that's the biggest thing, that you have that down as far as like knowing who exactly you are targeting. So as you can see right here, it's going to give you a bunch of different drop downs, a bunch of different options to specify the targeting, as to who you're actually looking for, what type of business you're looking to reach out to. So as you can see up here as well, total is going to be 235 million at the moment, right? But as we start going in, as we start filtering this out and being more specific, you're going to continue to see this number dropping. So the first thing I would do here, you're going to go to email status. Now, two things very important that you have verified on for safe to send for email status. And then another very important thing is making sure, where is it? So it's gonna automatically put include catch-all emails. You want to make sure this is off. So you want to make sure this is off, and you want to make sure that the emails are verified as well. So those are the two things I typically do. You could already see that has reduced our number in the top left. Now what we're gonna go ahead and do now is going to, let me see, job title, right? So as far as the job title, right, we want to make sure, guys, that we are speaking to the owners of these companies, the decision makers. It doesn't do any good for you to reach out to a company and you're talking to someone who has no involvement of actually making the decision. So that's going to be huge, and this is what we're going to use to narrow that down. So a couple examples of that, what I would do here first, right, owner. And then if you pay attention on the number, the total as well, on the top left, you're going to continue to see that drop. So we'll go owner, we'll go founder, we'll go CEO. You could go presidents. And so what this does is it's just essentially narrowing down my search to obviously only decision makers, right? I want to speak to only decision makers. Now, so there's a lot of stuff in here, guys, a lot of stuff that Apollo offers that you don't really end up using anyway. As you can see here, I'm on the free plan, so you don't feel obligated to go and buy one of the plans. Let me see what else. So company. So essentially, we're going to go to employees. This is going to be huge as well, right? So we definitely don't want to be reaching out to, a business that has 500, 1,000 employees, because the chances that you even get in contact with the decision maker are super slim here. So what I like to do here is custom range and going anywhere from 3 to 10, because we don't want to be working with a business who has no employees, one employee, maybe two employees, because that means they're not that established. So what I've found is 3 to 10 is typically the sweet spot here. So you're going to go 3 to 10 on employees, industry, and keywords. So this is what I kind of mentioned in the beginning, really having your targeting down, knowing who you want to reach out to specifically. And I actually have, if you see up here, this is essentially a list that I've been working on. If we go over here, you could see I have 21 right under the industry and keywords, and just to really make my targeting as specific as I can be. So in this right here, right, you could see targeting is accounting, right? So accounting is going to be the actual, like, the types of companies, right, that we want to reach out to is going to be accounting. Now, keywords, over 20 keywords, right? Like I mentioned, to really make the targeting as specific as possible and going after what I really want here is going to be the biggest thing. So you see, and then the way to for this is super simple. You go into ChatGPT and really just utilize that and just have it give you keywords for accounting or for what specifically in your case you're trying to target. So I mean, in this case, right, over 20 different keywords: tax advisory, tax compliance, tax planning. And what this is doing is essentially just narrowing down the database. So my targeting is on point. And the thing is with this as well, you start to notice pretty quickly that no matter how good you think your list is or your targeting, right, it can always get better and always improve. And there's always different tweaks that I'm making to make my targeting more specific, because that's going to be the biggest thing, is who you're actually targeting. So that's going to be huge. Right here is the industry and keywords. Now, let me see. So that's going to be the main things. Like I mentioned, Apollo does have a lot of different drop downs. Even if you see right here, there's going to be more filters. You don't have to worry about all of this. Essentially, the main things, right, is just email status, making sure the emails are verified, catch all is excluded, job title, right, really being specific, making sure that we are reaching out to the owner, making sure we're reaching out to the decision maker, and then just clarifying as well the amount of employees, and then the keywords and the job title as well is going to be huge. Now, once you do that, you're going to see the number obviously start to slim down more and more and more. Like as you could see in this search, we're roughly working with around 2.8 thousand, which is perfect, right? That's essentially what I want. Now, once you do have all of that plugged in, you want to go around and make sure like these businesses are actually what you're looking for. So let's just go ahead and check some of these out. So if we go, let's see, go ahead and click on this. So accounting, right? Obviously the industry, tax preparation, payroll services. So it's seeming, right, like they do obviously some sort of accounting. 11 employees. Typically we want under 10, but let's go ahead and check their websites. Yeah, so I mean accounting, you could see obviously these they're CPAs. So this is good. Let's go ahead and check another one out. Yeah, so accounting and consulting. All right, so once again, just really making sure this is what I'm looking for. CPAs. This is definitely what I'm looking for here. So once I would go around, typically I want to make sure just like 5, check around like 5. Make sure everything checks out. Accounting. Now this is going to be 14 employees. I like to keep it in the 3 to 10 range. But even 14 is still good. This is the one we already checked out. So, okay, so this one has 4 employees. Accounting, let's check their website. Normals broke be different. Planning, tax. Yep, so you could see here, this is what we would be looking for. Accounting, Outscore accounting, you could see this is what they do. So once you have around, you go through these, you make sure your targeting is on point. You have roughly 3 to 4 websites, everything checks out. Then that's when you would go ahead and actually scrape this out of Apollo. Now what I use is what's called Appify. I could go ahead and make a separate video on that, but this is just going to be for now just kind of how to navigate Apollo, how to use everything. Very simple. You're only really using a couple of the drop downs that it has. But yeah, so that's how to scrape thousands, as you could see, 2.8 thousands. Of qualified leads on Apollo. So I hope that helped.